Let's talk about the moments that kill your chances before you even open your mouth. You think you're being charming, but she's already mentally checked out. Here's the brutal truth. Women make snap judgments in milliseconds, and most of it happens below her conscious awareness. She won't tell you these things turned her off because she doesn't even realize they did. Her primal brain just whispers no and creates a story later. These aren't obvious red flags. They're subtle energy killers that instantly disqualify you before you get a chance to prove yourself. Nervous energy she can feel. She notices you're fidgeting with your phone, scanning the room like you're looking for an escape route, tapping your fingers, shifting your weight from foot to foot. Your hands can't stay still, and neither can your attention. This triggers instant disinterest because her primal brain reads this as unstable equals unsafe. Women are evolutionarily wired to assess whether a man can provide security and protection. Nervous energy screams the opposite. It tells her you can't even handle yourself, let alone handle her or any real situation that requires strength. Here's what's happening in her mind. She doesn't want to soothe a man or calm him down. She wants to feel anchored by his presence, not responsible for managing his anxiety. When you're scattered, she unconsciously starts looking for the exit. Research shows that anxiety is literally contagious. Mirror neurons make her feel your stress, and that kills any possibility of attraction. 2. The social salesman vibe. Within seconds, she's clocking that you're overgroomed to the point of looking artificial, trying to be liked by everyone in the room, flashing that practiced smile that feels too polished. You're working the room like you're running for office. Why does this kill attraction? She can smell performance from a mile away, and it comes off as someone trying to sell her something rather than connect with her. Women have incredibly sensitive bullshit detectors because they've evolved to spot men who might be deceptive or manipulative. Here's the reality. She doesn't trust a man who's too slick from the jump. It makes her wonder what you're hiding and why you need to try so hard. Authentic confidence doesn't need to perform, it just exists. When she sees you being performative, she assumes you're either insecure or have something to hide. Studies on social perception show that people can detect authentic versus fake behavior within seconds. 3. Dead eyes or scattered gaze. She immediately picks up on the fact that there's no spark behind your eyes, no intensity, no presence. You're either staring through her like she's invisible, or your gaze is darting everywhere except into her eyes. There's no fire, no intrigue, no depth. This triggers instant disinterest because eyes are the window to presence, and if there's nothing there, you disappear in her mind. She needs to feel seen and engaged. When your eyes are dull or scattered, you're essentially telling her that nothing about this moment matters to you. She feels no pull, no intrigue, nothing to lean into. Eye contact creates intimacy and sexual tension. Without it, you're just another face in the crowd. Women are naturally drawn to men who can hold their gaze with confidence and intensity. Neuroscience research shows that sustained eye contact increases feelings of attraction and connection by triggering the release of oxytocin and dopamine. 4. Passive posture. What she's reading in your body language is shoulders slouched, chest caved in, taking up minimal space. You might think you're being chill, relaxed, but your body language is screaming something entirely different. She reads collapsed posture as low value and low confidence, and that's an instant turnoff. If you can't take up space, she assumes you can't handle hers either. Women are naturally drawn to men who display what psychologists call postural dominance. Not aggressive, but grounded and sure of themselves. Your posture tells her everything about how you see yourself. If you're making yourself small, she assumes there's a reason for it. Confident posture isn't about being bigger than everyone else. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. Research on body language shows that expansive postures increase testosterone and decrease cortisol, creating a biochemical confidence that women can literally sense. 5. Weak vocal presence. She's hearing a voice that's shaky, pitched too high, or overly polite to the point of sounding uncertain. You're asking permission with your tone instead of making statements. Vocal uncertainty tells her you're not sure of yourself, and that sets off her internal nope alert. Women are attracted to vocal confidence because it signals genetic fitness and social dominance. A trembling or weak voice suggests you can't handle pressure or leadership. A calm, relaxed voice equals instant subconscious authority. When you speak with certainty and depth, you're triggering primal attraction switches. She needs to feel like you could handle her at her most emotional or challenging. Studies show that women are more attracted to men with lower-pitched voices because they associate them with higher testosterone and better genetic quality. 6. Laughing too much, too soon. She's watching you nervous laugh at everything she says. Over-agree, chuckle at things that aren't funny. You're trying to keep things light, but it's coming across as desperate validation-seeking. This behavior doesn't make her feel funny. It makes you look desperate for her approval. She can tell the difference between genuine humor and nervous energy disguised as friendliness. She feels pressure instead of tension, and attraction dies in the absence of polarity. When you laugh at everything, nothing feels special or earned. Women want to feel like they're winning over someone with standards, not entertaining someone who's grateful for any attention. Research on humor and attraction shows that women are more attracted to men who make them laugh, not men who laugh at everything they say. 7. Overexplaining or overtalking. She's experiencing you trying to prove your personality too fast, filling every silence with words, explaining your jokes, providing your resume in conversation form. You're treating the interaction like a job interview where you need to sell yourself. The reason this kills attraction is that she tunes out when it feels like you're pitching her instead of connecting with her. Overtalking signals insecurity and neediness, like you're afraid that silence will reveal you have nothing interesting to offer. Attraction is built through rhythm, tension, and space, not rapid-fire facts about your life. Women want to feel intrigued and curious, not overwhelmed by information. When you talk too much, you're eliminating mystery and making her work harder to find space in the conversation. Studies on conversation dynamics show that balanced turn-taking creates more attraction than monologuing. 8. No masculine edge or polarity. What she sees in those first few seconds is a guy being perfectly nice, agreeable, and safe. There's no teasing, no challenge, no sexual tension. You're treating her like a delicate flower who might break if you show any real personality. And here's why that triggers instant disinterest. Nice without bite is forgettable. She instantly slots you as safe, which usually means you'll never make her feel anything intense enough to remember. Women crave polarity, that tension between masculine and feminine energy that creates attraction. Without that edge, you become another pleasant but unmemorable interaction. She needs to feel desired, not just liked. She needs to feel like you're a man who could handle her fire, not someone who's afraid of it. Research on sexual attraction shows that women are most drawn to men who display what researchers call attractive narcissism, confidence and slight dominance without cruelty. Now that you know what turns her off before the first word leaves your mouth, you're already ahead of most guys who are flying completely blind. Thanks for sticking with me through all 8 of these. I know some of them probably hit a little too close to home. Drop a comment about which one caught you off guard, and stay tuned because I've got something good coming next that's going to change how you see this whole game. Until next time, pay attention, make you move, and own the moment.